United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon lauds the progress made in the Philippines government's peace process with the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Ban made a statement in a press briefing shortly before leaving Manila over the weekend. More from Sam Ramirez.
United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon lauded the Philippine government's progress with the peace process in Mindanao, particularly with how far the peace talks between the Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process of the government and Moro Islamic Liberation Front has reached.
I commend the Filipino government's effort to promote peace and democracy and inclusive.
The end goal is to create a Bangsamoro ministerial government, a new and more empowered political entity. The Bangsamoro government will replace the autonomous region for Muslim Mindanao. The negotiators of both sides succeeded in completing 3 out of 4 annexes this year, which will guide the creation of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. This year, both the negotiators from the side of the government and the MILF have signed the Transition Agreement and Modalities Annex, which outlines the shift from the current ARMM to the Bangsamoro government. Second, the Wealth Sharing Annex, which includes taxation, among others. Third is the Annex on Power Sharing, which delineates the authority of the central as well as the Bangsamoro government. Talks about the Normalization Annex, which is the last of the 4, is scheduled on January.
I congratulate the government on progress in the Mindanao peace process, particularly the agreement reached between the parties in December. I hope a final agreement will be reached soon.
Meanwhile, the UN Secretary-General has also expressed his deep concerns about the escalating violence in South Sudan, a newly proclaimed country rich in oil. The aggression was caused by the tension between South Sudan President Salva Kiir and former Vice President Riek Machar, who come from different political and ethnic groups. More than 500 civilians died and thousands displaced due to the atrocities. In 2 separate incidents, 4 U.S. servicemen were injured and 2 UN peacekeepers were killed while in action. Secretary-General Ban urged the country to put an end to violence.
We are in shortage of capacity. We are now actively trying to transform our assets from other peacekeeping missions like MONUSCO and some other areas. And we are also seeking support from other key countries who can provide the necessary assets. The leadership of these 2 parties must sit down together with the aid of African Union and the United Nations to address the root causes of this and try to find out the political solution. They must stop the violence.
For the People's Television, Sam Ramirez.